Well, now, how many cars have you hit with this thing?
Well, we heard it. We all stand right there. We hear it.
Did you film that, sir?
Oh yeah, and it
He's
moved.
filming it.
Slightly nervous day. I've driven this truck on the road plenty of times. I think it's more ready than this one, but this one's more ready than, don't matter, all right? First trip for the crew cab. Run a little late. Got my coffee. Got a truck, so we're going to trucks and coffee. But we gotta go first rinse this thing off. Brought an extra fuel filter for a lawnmower because that's what Home Depot had. Fingers crossed. We got a new grill in it. Let's see if the old grill will get the job done today.
Yeah, no puddle underneath. You're good. Missed a spot. 4 spots.
It don't matter. Temperature gauge reads hotter than it is, and then I'm pretty sure the voltmeter reads more than it is because it's got her flat out pig. That might be our kryptonite if that thing's wrong. I know the other one is. And the oil pieces gauge, we're hoping that one's wrong and it's actually got more than that one showing. So they're both, all three in opposite directions, what you really want to see. I can't see shit out this windshield.
Can't see shit out of this thing.
Might have to, got a rag in the back, might have to give her a wipe down. Second gear, we'll get to the top of the hill and go back to third. Just got her in drive. She's just doing the automatic stuff. There's a high boy behind us. In case we break down, he can just push us.
Bet he's back there going, man, that's a nice truck.
Probably should have sprayed it down with some WD-40 so it kept it shine. The water's already dried off. She's a little grimy again. Drives pretty nice looking. The steering wheel here. Barely even. It's like a second gen. Keeps you on your toes. Got her up to 40, dude. Throwing rocks. BFs really pick up some rocks. 45.
She's quiet as hell, too.
Except for that back seat squeaking or something. Or the bed rubbing on the cab, whatever that noise is. There's another Ford. We made it. Went to that car show down the hill last night. Man, that was a booming thing. Took over the whole dang town. All right, where are we gonna park this boat?
Right along the edge?
Yeah. What do you think?
Hell yeah. Oh, it's
That's easy enough. This thing's 65 feet long.
hopping.
Dude. We got the radio station out here. I don't see any good parking spots over there. I'm okay with this. This will work.
Yeah. So yeah, we drive all the way here, and then he's trapped. Ford says don't get out.
Dude, I was getting a little worried there.
She thought maybe somebody might buy her today.
Yeah. You stay in the truck.
I don't know if you can see that, but that's smoke.
Don't worry about that. Well, now. Why did you film that? Where'd you hit? How many cars have you hit with this thing?
Well, we heard it. We all stand right there. We hear it.
Did you film that, sir?
Oh, yeah. And it moved.
I give you my information and my...
Oh, that's tricky.
What? Is your car?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's mine. Why'd you hit it?
I'm sorry. Where I hit you? I don't know.
Why'd you hit it?
Why?
Yeah.
Why I hit it? I don't see you.
This isn't bumper. It's parked.
I know, but I don't see you. I thought you were really far away, so I'm so sorry. But if you want to give me my information, I give you my information.
I don't know. Maybe $1,000.
Ah.
$1,000. Come
Maybe
on.
a coffee, no?
Yeah, give my boy $20 for a coffee, and we'll call it square.
Well, whatever you want.
Right.
I mean, it's my fault. I can do it.
Well, let's get out of the way. We'll call it fine. You didn't. Well, we're just trying to leave this establishment, slightly under construction over here. And Ford died sitting in traffic. Guys made fun of me for it. Said it's a Ford, so laughable offense. And another gal tried to back up into somebody else. So let's just get out of here. Entertain the idea of not coming back to Cars and Coffee for a while. But there's no damage done to my rig, and her rig looked like she backed up into plenty of them. So I told her, look around at some of these other rigs that are here. Some of these cars got a paint job on it that's worth more than this truck. So you mess up that paint job, well, I'll just go out the normal one. I'll let this old boy go. And you're going to be hurting because your insurance is going to drop you if they got to pay a claim for fixing one of these cars. How's it look? Did you get one tire?
Oh, yeah.
One tire. My turn.
Second one was like...
Before the emissions, before the crap, before more computers. I just want to get a little driving time lapse kind of thing. 40 mile an hour. 45. I could pass somebody if they were parked.
You good? Did I drive through it? Like 3 inches. Hey, didn't I see this truck at Cars and Coffee?
Yeah.
Whoa, man, that's a nice truck.
She lived to talk about it for another day.
Let's pop the hood and see if we got any.
Probably those leaves on the intake. Could have been.
It doesn't even smell as bad as it did before, too. It's cleaning up.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you tune a Ford. Just let her eat. So, honest to God, first trip with the truck. Aside from revving it up, trying to compete with that Mopar, it did pretty good. Except for then it died.
It even got hit in the parking lot and drove home. I mean, that speaks volumes. They just don't make them like they used to, huh?
Can you literally imagine if that would have been any of those other cars there and that gal backed up into it? I think that gal probably would have been yeeted. Politely.
People will yeet somebody if they touch their car, let alone with another vehicle.
Yeah. Let me just, bump bumpers with you. No, that's not okay. But in all seriousness, I am going to post this thing up for sale now because what I want to do this truck is going to take me years to even get around to it, and it's going to be tons of money. Basically, we need a truck like that gray one over there with a 6-speed manual in it, and delete the cab and everything off of that one and put this cab on top of it. And I got tons of other projects in line for it, and I would like to just keep this one the way it is. And the only way that's going to happen is if I sell it to somebody else and they keep it this way. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It has been a minute since we had our incident at Cars and Coffee, and I'll be straight up honest, we are at the crossroads with this truck. I did not ever realistically intend on keeping it a gasser, I wanted to try and get it running, and it actually runs and drives very well. So I'm kind of, man, I don't know if I want to tear it down or not. So I put it up for sale. I had right off the bat a trade offer on a vehicle I was very interested in. I actually saw it about 6 months ago. Surprised the guy still had it, but he wanted straight trade, and that fell through the night before. He was willing to trade a Fummins for this long bed crew. And just to let you know, these crew cabs are very, very rare as far as it goes on production value or production numbers. I mean, in 1978, like this truck is, they made less than 3,000 of them. And then in 79, they made less than 2,000 of them. And of course, somehow those are undocumented as the true numbers. But anyway, long story short, I posted this thing up on Marketplace for 17, had quite a few numbers of interest, and I posted it pending because I really wanted to see that trade deal go through. It made sense. So that didn't go through. I went ahead and lowered it to 16.5. So if you guys are on here, I'm open to a reasonable offer on the rig, but I don't want to entertain tire kickers. This truck is something I never thought I would have, and I never thought if I got one I would sell one. Punted for many years for this particular kind of truck, but we have other obligations that have showed up. Might have actually got one of these that's 4-wheel drive. It's even extremely more rare. So if this thing does not sell, I got no problem keeping it and following through with my original plan of putting the Cummins in it. So that's where we're at right now. If you guys are interested in this thing, comment or email bbeltonson@gmail.com. It'll be in the description below. But again, 78 crew cab, 351, running driving truck, all brakes function, shifts through all the gears. It's a nice rig. Let me know. We'll see you guys in the next one. Later.